A7 and 15th overall. After being 8th fastest on the first stage, too much brake bias to the rear had caused an off on stage 2. The Long-Eaton driver was only 14 seconds behind class leader Franklin though, despite losing second gear in the Deodora Astra GTE, while Chris Ruck had benefited from Franklin's retirement and now led Class A7. After losing second gear on the Twisty Finnan stage, the Astra was now without 5th gear and would drop to 21st overall before a replacement box would be fitted. After Dave Metcalf's off imperfectly so far. After replacing their original gearbox after stage 6, Chris Ruck and Steve Harris were back up to 15th overall in the Deodora Black Shores of Derby, a Vauxhall Astra GTE. The new box though was proving troublesome, and the crew decided to risk their class lead and refit the original box, running without 2nd and 5th gears for the rest of the leg. The Peugeot 205 GTI of Richard Burns still led age was Chris Ruck. After struggling with his gearbox all day, the car rolled out of the class lead and dropped to 75th after losing 28 minutes in regaining the road. Richard Burns still led Class N3 by a minute on stage 13. A drive shaft was pulled out when the car hit a dip too hard and over-arriving at the overnight halt just inside maximum lateness. After performing 3 gearbox changes on the first day and 2 more on the second, Chris Ruck and Steve Harris were again leading Class A7. They didn't know it at the time, but Trevor Godwin had rolled on stage 16, giving the Notts driver an advantage he held to the finish. Chris, you've dropped down the leaderboard now after your roll last night. What position were you in?
We were 19th overall, first in class. We were 19 minutes up on the next bloke in the class. Today I think we pulled back up to second in class after dropping right down to last but one.
Yeah. Whereabouts was the roll?
It was on stage 13, the last stage. Went into a tightening 80. I went to get second gear and we've lost second gear and it just pulled us over into a ditch and rolled over. We just couldn't move, there's no spectators there. It took 28 minutes then to get us out when more spectators got there.
Well, it's been a big, good rally though. You've enjoyed it?
Oh, I've enjoyed the rally, but we've had nothing but problems with the gearbox. We've changed 2 gearboxes now. One's hasn't got second gear, and the one we've got in now hasn't got 5th gear.
We're glad to get back to Swansea then.
We're glad to get to the finish, yeah.
It's Russell Brooks and Neil Wilson in the RED prepared Group A.
Chris Ruck's Astra also hit the jump on stage 4 a little too hard. The damage at the time thought to have been restricted to a lost spoiler. By stage 8, the Deodora backed Vauxhall was 40 seconds into the lead of Class 3 and 11th overall. That jump though had probably damaged the front strut, and on stage 9 the front wheel was lost, sending the crew into retirement.